Welcome, welcome, welcome to every one of you. Thank you all for joining in. And what else is possible today? So where are you refusing to be a leader? That. Where are you refusing to be a leader? What if you could be the leader of your space, of your world, of your universe? Are you willing to own it, claim it, and create it? And what else is? Yay! So that's it. Topic over. Bye-bye. So what if you could be willing for that? And what is coming in the way? And what if you could let go of that today, now, and in the future? So
can I share something?
Balat, we can't hear you too well.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a little faint. We can hear you, but it's a little faint. Yeah, go ahead.
So yesterday, I was working on a project and I needed funds for it. And then somebody called me and said, you go ahead and do the work. You don't worry about money. And for a moment, like my hands were shivering when even I was like, telling this to other people that we've got the funds. And then I was in gratitude of that person who gave me money and all of that. But then I saw that I don't have that kind of confidence about having money or having my back. And I was like, universe has my back. But then I don't have that confidence in all the areas of my life. And I don't be that all the time. And all good ideas come to me while I'm putting the dishes. And as I was putting the dishes, I was like, no, but it's not about this work. It's about me. And, I do not ask for it. And it was just such a aha moment for me at that point in time, that, it's me who's not asking. It's not me who has that questions about myself, and that's what's mirroring in other areas versus this area where I'm so clear about it.
Right. I so get what you're saying. So first of all, we're not willing to ask even ourselves, ask in our world, okay, what else is possible? Where can I get these funds from, for example, okay, like in your case. And so we are not even willing to articulate, first of all, that we have a question. And we often come out with first the conclusions, the assumptions. Oh, it's not possible. This is difficult. I have so many things to do. How will I also arrange for this? Okay, as if, and we've started off with an assumption that somewhere it's difficult. It's not going to be easy. And we have to put the effort for it. So there itself, that brings down our energies, and then comes in the doubt. We're not willing to trust ourselves. We are like, can I even do this? Is it possible? And that is where you are not willing to trust you. And if you are not willing to trust you, anybody you are looking as clients in your world, how can they trust you when you are not willing to trust you? So first of all, what if you could be willing to trust you? You know what are your capacities. What if you could start there and say, okay, how can I choose this with ease? How much fun can I have with this? And the ingredient of fun is one of the things that it's like, it helps in the creation of the bombshell called you. Okay, where you don't have to go bombing people with anger or something, but you could be the potency of you. When you are willing to have fun, no matter what, that starts the creation. That starts the enthusiasm for living. When you are willing to have fun, no matter how it goes, what takes place, what awarenesses show up, then what else is possible? So one of the major ingredients to any of your creations, be it just cooking a meal, be it just watching a movie, what if you could have fun no matter what comes up? And what if you could trust you? So wherever you're not willing to trust you, just put it up in a bundle and throw it away. Throw it away. Right now, throw it away. What if you could create beyond that? And everything that doesn't allow that, will you now let go that, please?
Yes,
Right,
please.
wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine, shots, boys, and beyonds. So right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shots, boys, and beyonds is a clearing statement, which is part of access consciousness. And what it does is it clears things. Basically, whatever we have made right or wrong or good or bad, it begins to clear that. So let's say we have made anxiety right for us. So whenever a new project starts, you have to start with anxiety because you made it right for you. Supposing you have doubt as a common ingredient in whatever you create, you have to doubt you. So you can clear doubt, you can clear anxiety, you can clear anger. If that comes up, whatever comes up can be cleared. These emotions can be cleared using this clearing statement. It's like a vacuum cleaner. Okay. And you can, when you do these clearings, it actually creates new possibilities. Like look at the space around you. If you clear some things up, maybe so much more is possible. Just because you cleared it, the ideas start floating in. Okay. So thank you, Palak, for that. So Palak has sent you a small link where you can get, when you click on that, it'll open up a video which you can see later. And that'll give you a little bit of an explanation about the clearing statement. You don't need to understand it. It will clear anyways. In fact, if you don't understand it, it works better. So there are some things you don't have to work on. And the access tools are a bit like that, where you can give up hard work and who you be and what you choose to be and do can start creating a whole new reality for you. In this reality, you got to be willing to be and do. We were taught not to be ourselves. So most of the time we are not being ourselves. We have been taught to be like your father, learn from him, be like so-and-so, learn from that person. Who is your role model? Learn from that person. So what about, when would you be you? What are your secret hidden capacities? What if you can open that up, unravel that? And next weekend, we actually have a workshop called Being You. It's a 2-day adventure. It's called an adventure because it is the adventure of discovering you. So Being You, Changing Your World. It's based on this book from Dr. Dane here. And it's an amazing workshop. It's got a manual written by Dr. Dane himself and a whole lot of tools. So what else is possible? And what is this workshop about? It's about how could you be you? Is it possible? Is it allowed? And is now the time to be you? Is now the time to open up the adventure of being you? Okay, so one of the things Palak brought up was ask. Very often we are not willing to even ask in our world, what is it I'm looking for? Okay, I'm looking to create this. Is it that you're looking for X amount of money? Are you looking to create something? Are you looking for ease, joy, and fun? Are you willing to have ease, joy, and fun? If you're willing to have ease, joy, and fun, what if you could receive money too with total ease? When you are being you, let me tell you a secret. When you are being you, money would come in with total ease. When you're truly being you, there is no need for you to put the effort for the money.
Thank you, Deepa. See, I just wanted to share that when that person told me that you don't worry about the money and
Just come closer to the mic.
sorry. So when that person said that, don't worry about the money. Hey, buddy, don't worry about the money. This is exactly what he said. Hey, buddy, don't worry about the money. You go ahead and do the work. I'll take care of it. And then I was just thinking, if I take the money out of the equation, what would I do? And there are so many things that I saw that they were actually driven by the fact that, when it, I mean, would I have, so rather than choosing what I would want to create, it was coming from the fact, what budget do I have, how would I, like, go about it, and whatever is it. So if I don't have, like, the budget constraint in mind, what would I do? And then I would do this, and then, okay, then I can start looking at how to create money, rather than going by, I have this much money, what can I do with this? And it was quite liberating, so to say, for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. How does it get better than that? So we also start with money being a consideration, that money is a strong point of view. I'm starting a new business. I need funds to start. So how can I start? Because I don't have the money. I'd like to buy a house and I don't have the requisite money. Okay. So I remember many years ago, we were looking at buying property, and we checked out the market prices. And those days, banks would give 75% loan. So we went about, somehow the next 2 years, we coughed up 25%. And we said, wow, now we have the money, let's go buy this. And we found everything had gone up in prices. And we didn't have the 25% again. So we were back to where we were. We were thinking X amount of money was enough to create. So we just about made that X amount, which is a good amount of money those days. Still not enough for me to buy the property that I would like to. I was like, gosh. And then my mom gave me an awesome idea those days. She said, Deepa, you have some money. Why don't you buy what you can with this money, invest it somewhere and allow it to appreciate, and then take it from there? And I was like, wow, that was the coolest advice I had got those days. And I said, yes, that sounds really plausible. And I actually invested it in a small town, not in the city that I was. And after about 2 or 3 years, I sold that property. I didn't make money on it, but it gave me the confidence that, hey, I can buy things. I can do this. It's not impossible. And helped me create so much. So it's by, if I look at the return of investment in that one thing, that transaction, I didn't make money. Honestly, I might have made like a few thousands. That's about it. But the awareness it brought me was tremendous. I knew that the guy who gives the loan, his representative and the builder are actually, they work close together. And if I take a loan, the builder could be given amounts of loan even without me coming into perspective. So the dispersal of the loan is not always dependent on a conversation with me. And I was like, wow, but I'm the one who's paying the EMIs. If I'm paying the installments, shouldn't they be speaking to me? So I had my own points of view, and I learned a lot in that. So I know many of you are from the money class, and we haven't spoken about this, but energetically, it's coming up now. So it was kind of interesting. So I never made myself wrong for having gone through this for 2 or 3 years and didn't make money. For me, it was like, what an amazing amount of learning. What else is possible now that I hadn't, received earlier? And that actually got me to create much more. So gratitude is another great ingredient for you in your life. So when you are willing to be in gratitude to you, you actually begin to build your trust. If you cancel off your awareness, if you cancel off what you have created, how then do you have the confidence in you? So sometimes we can have a mask of confidence. So it seems like we have confidence. Externally, when people see us, we seem to have confidence. But inside, if you doubt you, it will show through. It will show through at different times, where it will be very obvious for you that you're dealing with it, and it will be obvious to the others too. What else is possible? So what if you could ask in your world, first of all, for what you would like to receive, and also ask the universe. When you are beginning to ask and you shall receive is one of the laws of the universe. Okay, so Palak, just check out, there is one YouTube of mine where there's a short this thing about ask and you shall receive. So about the power of asking questions. Yes, that was the title, I remember now. The power of asking questions. So how do you ask a question? What are the simple do's and don'ts that you can look out for? And so that is something that I remember. There was this corporate trainer who looked at it, noted down all those questions, and she said she received assignments abroad that she had never received before. Okay, she was like, wow, this was a free video you sent me, Deepa, and so much it created for me, and what else is possible. So what if we don't have to pay money for everything? There is so much we can receive free of charge too, just by us choosing. So what choices are you refusing that you truly could be choosing, that if you were willing to choose it, and if you would actually choose it, could change your reality now and in the future? And everything that doesn't allow that with ease, will you all now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. What else is possible? Thank you for that, Palak. Anybody, any questions? You being you is a contribution to the world. Don't think, what am I going to do if I don't choose today? No big deal. And, the world will not actually make a difference. It will make a difference if I choose today for something and I don't choose. It's all the same, blah, blah. Not true. Even though you may be just a tiny person in the world, what if you are actually valuable to the world? And when you are willing to be you, when you are willing to be the contribution you be, so much is possible. What if there are many people waiting for you to wake up and you didn't even know that? There was once a foundation class I was conducting. It's a 4-day workshop. And we actually played with this exercise that came up in that class. For the first time, that exercise came up in that class. And that was, I think, if they chose something for 10,000 rupees, chose to buy something for 1,000 rupees or something, what would their life be like in a few years ahead? And then when they checked what would be the world like if they chose that, whatever was that particular thing that we all connected with, in 500 years, it was actually lighter. So them choosing something for as little as 500 bucks that day actually could create a greater world in 500 years. And we were like, really? Wow, And it was like, your choices today can actually contribute to your world and to the bigger world of the earth just by you choosing. So what you think is a small choice of yours may actually be a contribution to the world. If you, now I remember what that was. Okay, so if they chose to receive 1,000 rupees, okay, it was not about buying something, it was about, receiving. So very often we think, so what if I receive money? So what if I don't? Big deal, shouldn't matter to anybody. I will choose someday in the future. And when they played with that tool, if they received 1,000 rupees that day, actually it would be a contribution to the world even in 500 years. And guess why that was so? Because each one of you is killing your creations by not receiving money. And you don't even know that. You think, so what if I receive? So what if I don't? Not true, not true. You are a valuable contribution. You are a contribution to the earth. You are a contribution to the world in every one of your choices. Just you being you is a contribution. Even if you don't do anything, if you're willing to be happy, even that is a contribution. The earth would love to have more happy people on the living here, okay? And many of us have forgotten how to be happy. What else? Anybody? Anything? Want to say anything? Talk anything? Have I fried you all already? Each one of you is a contribution. Remember that, remind yourself that. And if you are willing to have your back, then what else is possible? If you were willing to trust you and go ahead with your creations, if you were willing to go ahead no matter what, then what else is possible? If 98% of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions are not yours, remember, you're not being you. You're creating from somebody else's reality. And you have 98% of today's, yesterday's, day before. So 1000% of you, what you have defined as you, is not you. And you're creating from there. So where are you among all these definitions of you, who you think you are? If you were to describe yourself in, say, 2 minutes, or even 5 minutes, or 15 minutes, how many definitions of you would you have? All of that, if you give that up, what if none of that is a definition of you? Yes, it is one way to describe you, but that doesn't mean it's a definition of you. And if that wasn't a limitation, if that wasn't a way that you had to limit you, then what else is possible? I think you're all spaced out. You're like, you're blissed. What else? So I'll end the call now. If you don't have any questions, if you do, let me know, then we will go on.
Deepa, I have a question
Yes,
or
please.
something to ask. If I really wanted to be right now, who I really am, I'd like to sock somebody on the face.
So do it. But that is okay. But
But
that's
that
not
person
you.
is sitting in Siliguri.
But that's not you, that.
That's not me.
That's not
Because
you. It's
I had
just
asked
who you
her to
think you
finish the
are.
work. I'd
Hmm.
asked her to finish the work and give it to me on Thursday. And then Saturday we reminded her, and then again on Sunday. And she said 2 o'clock, and now it's 6:30. And today's the launch date, and then the work has not been given. What am I supposed to do? I mean,
What are
what
you supposed
positive energy am I supposed to send her?
So you can get angry, frustrated, you can shout, okay? You can be angry with them, you can hit them up, whatever. Is that going to create greater for you? Who is left frustrated and irritated? You. So if you allow all those emotions to be with you for the next, whatever, few weeks, few months, you can smolder. Okay, you can smolder in all that anger and upset. Is that actually going to contribute to you to create?
No.
So ask, connect with your new business. I think this is about your launch, correct?
Yes.
So connect with your new business and ask, who would be a contribution to it?
Villain.
So that is an answer. Okay, now again ask that question. Okay, again ask that question. Who else would be a contribution to this that I have not acknowledged? What would it take for that person to show up? Ask for those energies to come. And again, ask that question. So every day ask that question. And what else can I add to this business that will get it created in the world? Maybe it's not yet ready for actualization. Maybe it's ready for actualization. Maybe someone else requires to contribute something to it. So talk to it, ask, and allow that information to come. And what else is possible?
Okay.
And everything that brings up and lets down for you, will you now destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. Are you willing to have fun with this no matter what? No. I will have fun if that person did what they're supposed to do, and then everything happens the way I have decided it should happen, and then I may be happy. Then may not be also,
True, true, true. Every word is true.
What else is possible then? So if you're not willing to have fun, no matter what, then don't do business. Just go sit in a cave, okay, all by yourself, because no one is going to do what you expect them to do. Please remember that. So you can sit,
Uh-huh.
do meditation in a cave all by yourself. And that will be the best, because whatever you decide you must do, you might just do it for yourself and nobody will irritate you.
Correct.
Okay. So that is
Hmm.
where you can control your environment and you can be happy, maybe. But even then, you might not be happy. Never know.
Okay, I'm feeling better. I'm actually feeling relieved. Okay, whatever is gonna happen must happen for the good.
So
And
that is another attitude. It may or may not happen for the good. Are you willing to ask new questions to contribute to it? Okay. So when we say whatever will happen, it will happen for the good, we're also giving up our ownership. We don't own
yeah,
that. Then we're not committed to that. We're like, okay, if it happens, okay. If it doesn't happen, okay. So then you're leaving it to everybody else's choice. So are you willing to own it and carry it forward and still have fun no matter what?
I don't know how to do that.
What
I
if
don't
it's
know how
not?
to have fun when we have a plan and we have set date, and it's not in my control now. Or I've asked her to do something and then it's not. She's not even being reachable. So, and I have put.
That's the world. That's the world.
Yeah.
Twinkle, that's the world. You cannot control anybody. Even
Hmm.
you are not willing to be controlled, and that's the fact. Nobody likes to be controlled. Do any of
Hmm.
you like to be controlled? No, none of us like to be controlled. So why the hell should we try to control another person? Control is something we do. When we are doing control, it won't work. So have you tried
Hmm.
asking them what dates work for you? Are you even interested in this? Or is it that, we are forcing this on you? Does this even work for you? If it doesn't, no problem. Okay. So does this interest you at all? Ask them that. And maybe if it interests them, they will tell you. Ask them what dates work for you. How would you like to do this? Is there some other idea, some other way you'd like to do it?
But then I didn't
Ask
give the
them.
dates. They put up the dates. We didn't decide on the dates.
It's okay. Whichever. Now ask them. Okay.
Okay.
So start again
Okay.
and forget the past. What if you could have a reset of the past? If nothing happened till now, you never started the project. Now you're going to start afresh. Then what would you choose? What if you could start there? Just
Uh,
saying. Think about it. Okay.
the
Anybody
thing
else
is,
has a
I've
question?
put on my Facebook status and my LinkedIn that I'm launching today, and I don't have the launch video ready. It's already 6:30.
Thank you all for waiting for this. Create a quick poster. Okay. We
Mm.
are launching. Details will follow soon. We had planned to launch today, or this is a teaser to what we would like to launch. Create a poster and see if that would contribute.
Okay.
See, you had
Well,
decided that it had to be a video. Who knows
yeah.
about that, right?
Super. Super.
So, what else is possible is another question we can ask. You're welcome. I'll send you the invoice later.
I'm feeling better.
So that
Okay.
is called form and structure. Okay, one is the significance of the date, and then you had maybe the form and structure that it had to be a launch which looked like this, which had to be like this. What else is possible? Maybe the business was happy with just a poster. Say, hey, we're launching this.
Hmm.
Okay, so sometimes we decide that a launch or whatever has to look like this, be like this, do like this. A business is an entity by itself, not just because in the government we go register it as an entity and we pay taxes for it separately. That's actually a different being by itself. Have you ever tried to control a child and get them to do homework the way you want them to? Doesn't work.
It doesn't
Okay?
work.
Doesn't work. So, classes are the same. Us controlling them, it doesn't work like that. Projects are the same. New businesses are the same. Old businesses are the same. We try and do control, and what can show up could be way beyond that. Okay.
Mm.
And
Awesome.
yeah, so
Thank you.
welcome.
Deepa, what came to me, I remembered that when Twinkle was
Come
sharing,
again, I
like,
couldn't hear you well. I can't hear you. Come closer.
So when Twinkle was sharing about, that she doesn't have a launch video. And so I used to be like, I would say to some extent, a OCD for like hosting any event at home. Like even if 5 people are coming, there are spreadsheets that are made with like, what everybody wants to eat, drink, everything, blah, blah, blah. And that at some point in time, I saw that it became so stressful about having people over rather than having fun with it. And my husband is the other extreme. He would say, yeah, they will come, they'll pick up what they want to drink. It's like they're friends, they will too. And I would be the other extreme. So it used to create conflict and it used to also stress me out. Somewhere down the line, I realized it was more of a past reference point and how things should be and should not be rather than having fun with it. And when I gave up that point of view, it was very, very different, like, and
That is so cool. That is so cool because actually, it is where we are doing control and we are trying to have things the perfect way. And we have already decided it in our mind what is the perfect way. And when this reality doesn't match that perfectionism, it could throw you out of gear and get you upset. And then we have a bunch of emotional stuff coming up, then the expectations, the disappointments, and all of that. And then the drama begins. Okay. So sometimes we have an addiction to drama that we don't even realize. And Palak, what you were saying, I went through the similar thing. I used to enjoy when people used to come over. And when I went through a patch where I was so hell-bent of it, hell-bent about the event being perfect, based on my definition of perfectionism, it just wasn't working. So I was stressed up. The food has to be perfect. Every dish had to be perfect. It had to be presented perfect. It had to perfect, perfect. And I'd be tired. So by the time people would come home, I'd be super tired. Then when do I actually enjoy the event and enjoy their presence? Then after it took me a couple of years to realize that actually they were coming to have fun, not to see one tired Deepa, but to see a fun Deepa, or just at least chat up, have fun, and go. Okay. So anyway, it's another tool is you get it when you get it. Okay. So
and this control thing, when you're saying I'm like kind of, so I have to attend a pre-KG class every day. I have to sit through a nursery class every day, which is my son's class apparently. But he at times sits, he otherwise jumps, and then the teacher would be saying rolly, 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 up, down, and I'll be doing all of those things. And then like it starts at like 11:30. By 11:45, even I start looking at the watch. When will this gonna get over? Why is this boy? So at times he's very like 3-year child. He's very interested in the class. At times he's not. And I try first few days I was literally trying to get him to be there, do that, and it was like, and he knows how to get his stuff done, so he would shout, yell, do whatever. And then I gave up and I said okay. But then I realized that even when he was not in my reality listening to the class, he was picking up so much stuff. Like later on he would go around saying, ma'am said this is empty, ma'am said this, ma'am said that. But during that 45 minutes he actually sits, like he'll be sitting in this chair and looking outside. Or standing on the chair and jumping, and like, or telling the ma'am to stop, like whatever he wants to do. And I was literally trying to get the whole situation under control and get him to, I know it's quite crazy to get a 3-year-old to do that even. But yeah, it's like once you let it be, And my husband keeps saying, like, even for my elder child, let her be. I mean, at the max, she will fail one quarter, one, like, semester. But that letting go is as difficult as I say, but it doesn't come very easily to me.
Yes, that is, I get that, And one of the things is when you're willing to let it go, willing to let the child learn, willing to let the project be, it actually creates greater. And start asking, when would you like to start? A new business entity or the project, ask it, when would you like to start? So much more is possible when you work with it. It's like telling your body, you must go on this 5-kilometer marathon run because I've decided so. And your body is like, I don't want to do it. And you're like, no, but I've decided today is the day, but you must run right now. And your body is like, I don't want to do it. So if you talk to your body, maybe you'll get to know that it wants to do 1 kilometer today and maybe 5 tomorrow, or whatever it is. So when you're willing to engage with your body, willing to engage with your business, with your child, then what else is possible? And what if you didn't have to have a fixed form, structure, significance about even your child, right? A 3-year-old watching like a laptop, don't fidget, don't move, listen to the teacher. So like Alex says, he may be looking out of the window, but he actually is listening to the teacher. So one of the things we do in the access classes, for example, is children come and they're allowed to walk free. I tell parents, get them to get their books, their toys, their color pencils, whatever they wish, let them do it around, as long as it doesn't disturb through audios or visuals in the room, that's fine. Let them do their own thing around the house, around the space. And that actually, children are a huge contribution to the class too. So don't exclude them from the classes, thinking classes have to be formal, we have to have the form and structure of listen carefully, look straight, and don't fidget and all that. Children get things far faster than adults. They're far quicker. Adults have a lot of fixed points of view for which we have to do a lot of unlearning, and only then we can relearn. Whereas children don't have a point of view about so many things, then they are really quicker. I think one last question we can take. Anybody? Okay, cool.
So Deepa, would you like to share some more details on the class? I mean, on the program, how the structure and
about the 2-day class? Sure. This is, we are having it on the 19th and 20th of June. And this class is based on, this class is based on what would it take to be you? What tools could you use to be you? And what is keeping you from being you? What if you could let go that, and the adventure of being you? And what else is possible? What is it that you could discover in this journey? Okay. Yogita has said, coincidentally, you've answered pretty much all the doubts we had. Okay, so even though you didn't ask it, it got answered. That's the advantage of talking to the energy. Gratitude to you for joining in, Yogita. So, so in fact, I had the Being You book opened up a little before the class. I said, what shall I talk about today? I said, okay, let it open up whichever way. And one of the things coming up was ask and receive. I said, I wonder what we're going to talk about, ask and receive. And so when you allow the class to create itself, it actually creates greater. So like Yogita said, I didn't have to have a list of scripted questions and answers out in front of me. This is what I will answer, and this is what I will talk about. So I remember there was one coach who I was speaking to, and she said, Deepa, I've attended access classes, they're not scripted. I said, absolutely, there is no class that is scripted, because when you script, you can only create so much, because you have predetermined the outcome of what that should create. And when you don't define what the class would create for you, then so much more is possible. When you predetermine it, a business, a project, a class, it can create only this much. So that's where we say at the end of this class, you would have learned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that's all you could learn. But if you don't predetermine it, like the Being You class that's coming up this next weekend, anything is possible. So for different people, it's created different things. It would never create, a class never creates the same things for any two people, because each of you is so different. And it's a question of letting go your masks. It's a question of what you have been carrying forward as baggage. And if you let go that, then what else is possible? Some of you may be carrying heavy bags and not even be aware of it. And when you let that go, maybe you can just be free to create a greater life. Maybe you could learn how to add joy to your life. Maybe you could learn how to receive you in your life. Because one of the people you've rejected the most is probably you. And you don't even know that you rejected you. And what else would you like to discover about you and let go to rediscover about you? How many hidden talents and capacities have you hidden from you? How many talents and abilities have you hidden from you that even you do not know that you have? So this is a 2-day workshop. It starts at 10 and goes on till about 5:30 in the evening. And that's India time, by the way. So if you're in another part of the world, it would be different. And what else? In the country pricing, it's different per country as per Access guidelines. And there is an amazing manual which has a lot of tools put into it as part of the ingredients. So just like any Access class, we would be talking about these tools, discussing it with lots of examples, doing a lot of clearings which would be personalized for the people joining the class. And who knows, you might be beginning to undefine you at the end of the class. We might not recognize people who join in. So then we would say, oh, this is the person who I saw last week, last month. You've changed. So what else is possible?
Thank you. I think Natasha has a question.
Yes, Natasha.
Hi, Deepa. So I've been reading the Being You book, right? I mean, I do have the audiobook, so I've been playing it every few days as I sleep at 0 volume. And then there was a time when I was like decluttering my room. I just played it like loud. And I also noticed that as I was being more myself, my circle of friends has also become smaller. So I'm like thinking, were all these friends like
1 minute, I'm
frenemies,
sorry.
but now that I'm
Sorry to interrupt you. The audio is not so clear. What is smaller?
my circle of friends have become
Okay.
smaller.
Okay.
So
Continue.
I'm thinking, is that like the book's way of like releasing the frenemies who I've considered friends, or like I'm just shifting in that I'm no longer vibrating with them? Like, what should I
So,
be asking
so what if,
with regards to that?
yes, so what if, what is working in your life is what you create, and what's not working in your life also is what you create. So did you choose to let go of these friends? Connect with the universe and ask, truth, did I choose to let go of these people? What do you get?
Yes.
Okay, cool. How does it get better than that?
Yes.
So it's your choice that creates your reality, not a person or not a book or not a something else. It's your choice. And if you feel that you didn't have to carry them on in your life, what if that's okay? You can always still be associated with them whenever you choose.
But then there goes the guilt, right? And like, oh, like all the doubt and guilt. Did I make the right choice by letting them go, not keeping in touch? Like, all
So,
those have
okay,
been surfacing.
so what else is possible? Would you like to include them in your life? All you have to do is choose and look at what would it take for me to choose to receive people with ease. See, end of the day, it's your choice.
Okay, what would it take to receive people with ease?
Sometimes we don't like people, okay? And we're not willing to acknowledge that we don't like people. So what else is possible? There are clearings for that too, but we would not be doing that today. So you can do it the hard way. Like Shrey says, he's been trying since 3 times. Anything you try, it's like trying to get up. You're still trying, you're trying, you're trying. Are you willing to just allow it?
Can I? So can I give a testimonial actually?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
After we spoke about my launch a couple of months ago, I had made it right that we need to launch in a particular way, and because people will like it this way and investors will view it this way and stuff. And after the first time, and the second time, I saw that what we were building was actually building better because we were not launching. And now I've just let the team do what they want to do, and just with the guidance, we're getting much more success without doing what people think is a launch on social media and things. So it's just working out fine. We have another launch this week, but I'm okay with it not launching because we're doing well.
Awesome. How does it get better than that? So when we let go the form and structure of what the launch has to look like, be like, so much more is possible, right? Thank you for sharing that. And when we let go control, which is also a journey, it's a choice. It's not easy. We are all control freaks. It's not easy to let go control. And when you could be willing to let go control, maybe we would allow something greater in our lives.
I like the way Palak said that we have a past. So I come from the corporate world and everything goes, it has to be as scheduled, and you have your checklist and you have this. And then I realized, these days, these children, these kids don't even bother about checklist and forget it. They are on their own trip. And then why am I stuck to checklists? And this is not the way it works. So Milan says, keep chilling, Twinkle. This is the new age. They are very different from us. They just let them be. Social media is not our thing, so let them do. But I can't handle it that on the launch date, I don't have the video. First cut, nothing.
So have you asked questions? What does the business want to launch and how does it want to launch? Have you decided it has to be launched in a particular way? Right? So what if you could allow the business entity to launch?
She's deciding. That girl is deciding how it's going to be launched. I have no clue what she's going to give me.
How does it get better than this? Are you willing to engage with this then?
The thing is, we've given them freedom because we don't want to control it, and we only say yes, no, whether we want it, our face is there or not. But this is getting too much out of hand.
So see, letting go of control doesn't mean don't engage. Okay, engaging is a very different thing. Are you willing to engage with the business? Which is very different from letting go control of the whole business before it started. You do your thing and then, let me know when it's done kind of thing, which is a very different thing. So what if you could engage with the business? Palak has a question.
What do you mean by engage in your parlance?
So I wanted to share something when Twinkle was sharing. I mean, it's not a IT business that I launched, and I come from a corporate background. But I started doing something which is nowhere related to my qualification or the work that I was doing. And when I started the business, the people who have worked in that industry, and they're big friends, and they are well-meaning friends, I guess, they had all of these ideas, like, you should be doing free sampling to the bloggers. I've started homemade masalas business, so you should be doing sampling to the, like, bloggers, social media influencers, blah blah blah. And in my world, it's like, I don't think I really get influenced by people who write good reviews about my stuff. I mean, about anybody's stuff, unless and until I really trust that, like, barring one or two people. So I'm not going to do this free sampling stuff. It didn't feel right to me, and I just kept quiet. And I waited, and my business did well, like reasonably well. And now all those people who are supposed to be the social media influencers are actually buying my stuff and writing reviews without me having to do the freebies for them. And so, people who at times not listening to people who think that they know the stuff, and going by your own knowing, I think worked.
Right. So when we don't have a fixed form and structure on how we have to create something, so much more is possible when you're willing to create from what is light rather than an agenda. And I mean, Twinkle, the world is a very disorganized place. Corporate culture is also very disorganized. I work there a lot, okay? There is a lot below the carpet, just that we don't always show that, okay? So it is there. It's not like it's organized. People just say yes to a date and they will always deliver on that date exactly the way you asked. It isn't that way. Many parts of it are that way, but many parts of it are not. There is a race to get it delivered on that day, but the world doesn't always operate like that. The date you have committed to somebody else may make no meaning to them. And even for them, the way they commit the date may not make meaning to them. Okay, so there was so much.
Holy cow.
Right? You get that?
That is scary.
That's what is happening to you. Can you see that? It's not me who's saying it. Can you just see that's what is going on for you? This person has said they would give it to you on a date, and they didn't give it to you. They're not even accessible on that date. Okay? They came with this date, you did not. Right? Okay? So if the date mattered to them, they would have been talking to you since 2 days to tell you that it wasn't possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else is possible now that you had not imagined earlier? What do people want in your business?
Milind is going to create content now.
Yeah, so what is it people want in this business that you're starting now? Do they want a video, or they just want something else?
They just need information. That's it.
Go ahead, create that. Yeah, you have it. That's it. How could you get the information out to them?
Yes.
Absolutely. And how much fun can you have with this?
Awesome. I can do it my way now and Milind's way.
Whichever way. What if there was no right, wrong, good, bad about whichever way? And now what else is possible? What if you could ask questions now and ask the business, what else should we include in this? And create. What if it's a new baby today? And tomorrow it's a new baby. And day after it's another new baby. So.
Okay.
Thank you all for joining in today. And catch up with you soon. See ya. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Palak, Shrey, Deepa, and everybody else on this. Thank you for your positive energies.
You're so welcome. Thank you. Bye.